2009, they rode the Mangini Express, Rex did, right to the AFC Championship game. Then they built upon that and got to the 2010 championship game. And then it came. The worst offseason in New York Jets history.
All right, so you guys are going to have to let me know if the internet's bad, because let me tell you right now, I'm unsure. I've been having a lot of problems tonight. We've had a good week, with the Monday mock and everything last week. It's been good. So I don't know what I got for you tonight. So you got to let me know how this internet is, because in truth, I just don't know. It's bad, right, Tristan? Yeah, we might have to wash it. Let me see what I can do here. 1 second. You tell me a second. I'm going to give it 1 minute and see. Can you guys hear me? Is it the video or the video and the sound? Because I'm having problems where I am right now. I'm literally I'm on this little mountain in the woods. You can hear me well? All right. Vocals are okay, a little choppy. Okay. If you guys can bear with me, I'll try one thing, okay? And if not, we'll just call it, and then I'll figure it out for the rest of the week. This is a bonus. I just wanted to spend a few more minutes with you guys, but hold on. So bear with me, okay? I'm going to try something. Don't go anywhere. Okay. What the fuck is that? Get out of here. All right. How is this? How is this? Is this any better? I have 4 internet carriers right here, so I can go through them both. I mean, both, all 4. I can go through all of them. All right. So I get it, and I'm going to try to do a thing. A moment. All things open that, and I can up some RAM. Let me see. Da 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 da. A minute, and then we'll get into some shit. So, yeah, one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about, we barely touched it in the CJ Mosley rumors. They're talking about. Hold on, my back? It's clearing up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm working on some things here. Hold on once. Let me not get into anything yet. Hold on. Do something that I'm shutting everything down. I'm even. So I have open, and that's sneakily open in the background, and then I'll take a few things that I have eaten a little bit of RAM that I had open as well. I now spoke too soon. Don't touch it right now. Well, I'm just taking stuff away right now. All right, let's see. I know this is such a pain in the ass. It's funny, I forgot, a year ago. Actually, it's funny. Yesterday was 1 year to the day that I left, that I moved out of my house. We sold my house and we moved out. Yesterday was 1 year. And interestingly enough, I ended up at the same campground a year to the day later. It's crazy. We didn't plan it. It just ended up that way. And I'm all kind of bugged out, you know, like reminiscing, going through. What's up, Robbie Oak? All right, hold on. Wait, so I have robot vocals right now? Am I back, Erock? You're good, you're good. Okay, now you're good now, no problem. Oh shit. Oh, yeah, we'll spend a few minutes, man. You know, we'll all right. So anyway, um so it's crazy, you know, like 1 year ago right now, well, a week ago, I was in a house. I had internet and I would complain if it wasn't like, you know, super lightning fast. I'm like, I have a little lag or whatever. And it was like, then I moved out here, and let me tell you, man, every region of the country, some regions are AT&T, some places T-Mobile's the only thing that works, some places Verizon's the only thing, and I never know. And then sometimes it's one day Verizon is good, then the next day I think it's going to be Verizon, and it's not. Verizon's shit. It's crazy how this works out. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys kind of bearing with bearing with me and dealing with it, man. I really do, because for me, I get worried. I'm always like, man, they're gonna fucking hate me. You know, I wouldn't deal with this shit for this guy. That's what I think. But anywho, so yeah, I'm grateful, man. So what do you guys think of the CJ Mosley trade? You know, I might have a surprise for you tonight too. I don't know. Last night we got into it in the Monday Night Mock that I was a comedian for a long time, for like over 10 years. And I was a very successful comedian, man. Like I actually, I used to perform in New York City all the time, but then my little group, we went out to LA. I went out there twice actually. And then the second time I lived out there for a year, and we just performed and wrote scripts and all that kind of stuff. And but anyway, I might have a surprise for you guys. I was going to show you guys. I dug up an old comedy clip from literally over probably 12 years ago. Was my last show. I did it at an AA meeting for. I did it to raise money for this clubhouse that holds meetings for all kinds of different drug, fellowships and all that kind of stuff. So you could see the 12 steps and everything behind me. But it was a good show. But anyway, I was thinking of showing you guys some stuff, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll see if you guys even give a shit. Kyle Ornsby, I don't know, buddy. I think probably at some point we have already our next year planned on the road. So that'll be 2 years. Like we're going to be in October. I have everything planned till the end of October, and I'll be in Albuquerque, New Mexico next October. So from there, I'm really going to want to hit California. And really California, because California is so big, and we didn't get to do it last year. We made it to Washington State and Oregon and all that shit, but so I don't know. I think at some point I'll have a house. I'm gonna buy some land, man. My whole thing is I want land. I want to be able to build a roller coaster on my property without anybody giving me any shit. That's what I want. That's what I want, man. That's the dream. So, yeah, man. Oh, you wanted the other video, Terry Monroe? You talking about the film, the adult film that I made? Is that what you're talking about? That one, you can find it online. Just type in here. I'll type it in the chat right now so you can see it. All right. There it is. So I just put it in the chat. That's how, if you Google that, you'll see my movie. It's serious, man. It was a serious movie, dude. I had some big stars in there. Charmaine Starr and Kimberly Kane. And my buddy was Mickey G. He was a very, very famous porn star, because he was known for, him and his wife got into it together. So they were the husband-wife porn team. They were on Stern. They were everywhere. And he was my buddy. I lived with him for like 6 months. He was in my van with me. We'd go stay at this place, that place. He was homeless too at the same time. So by choice, but we would just drive around. Fucking dude, me and that guy, man, it was crazy times. So here's the thing about CJ Mosley. I actually think when you look at what Joe Douglas has done, right? When you really look at this, it's not that CJ Mosley isn't a good player, right? It's not that he's not a good player. I mean, we don't know because it's been 2 years. But if you look at what Joe Douglas has done, he has put a lot of emphasis on taking out the trash, right? So this is where guys like Jets fans and stuff will, but like guys like Marcus May, as nice as he is as a player and all that, they have the stink of the previous regime on them. Like they have, and it's not to say guys can't get past that and get through it, but that was the worst era of Jets football since the 70s, man. This era was worse than Kotite. Anybody my age or older will tell you. At least with Kotite, we were 1-15, but we were in those games, man. We played. We had good receivers. Like that 1-15 year, we had Krebet and Keyshawn and Jeff Graham. Like we had Adrian Morrell. Like we had some good weapons. We had a good team. We just couldn't put it together. It was coaching. And so this year we were not even competitive. And then Joe Flacco came in and we were a little competitive, but it was just, it was a joke, man. This year was an absolute joke. So I don't think Joe Douglas really wants any of those guys, especially when you look at somebody like CJ Mosley, even if he plays at top level. $18 million for an inside linebacker, man. Like it's crazy. That contract was absurd from the second we signed it. And it's, what's up, Friggly D? So, yeah, I think Adam Gase is in the discussion for the worst head coach of all time. Well, Tristan, here's the thing, and I'll tell you guys, I said it in one of my most recent videos. It's just so funny. I get these comments from people who say that it's very clear that I hate Wilson, right? Like I got one long, you see it on my 3 final trades video. There's a long comment from a guy I've known for a while. He's, it wasn't venomous or anything, but he's just saying, it's clear to me that you don't like Wilson, and this is a passive aggressive attempt to do anything except just take Wilson. And I couldn't disagree more. The thing is I don't love Wilson like a lot of people do. I think he's the guy that everybody's fallen in love with. So there's like this bubble around him. But I do like him. The truth is I like Justin Fields too, but I don't love him either. So my thing is, whoever Joe Douglas and crew pick, they've done their evaluation. You can trust that they've done their homework and they're confident in whatever choice they make. If they take Zach Wilson, I'm 100% in. If they take Trey Lance, I'm 100% in. Justin Fields, 100% in. I would rather them not take Mac Jones or Trey Lance, but it's like I feel good about them. But so with Zach Wilson, I gotta tell you, man, I'm like 85% sure that they're gonna take him. But I am not. People say it's obvious. It's not obvious to me. It's really not. Like I see too many variables that are still very, very realistic to just be comfortable feeling that way. You know what I mean? I said I'm in, but I don't know, man. I think that a lot of this is potential smokescreen to try to get the Jags to pass on Trevor Lawrence, which is unlikely. And I also think that they might like Justin Fields a little bit more, and they want to coax somebody into coming up at the last second and giving them something. Like if the Niners would give us Fred Warner and a second to jump up, and they really like Fields, and they come up for Zach Wilson, dude, you're getting a dominant middle linebacker that Saleh loves and knows, and you're getting an extra second round pick for the guy you like the whole time. So that's what I'm saying. Again, I think we're probably going to take Wilson. That's what I think. But for me, I just don't feel convinced. but I'm in either way. Drums, what's up, buddy? What's up, man? So when getting it right, Matthias says, Matt Simon says it best, right? Like as far as CJ Mosley goes, I just think that no matter what, man, they're going to try to trade him. And if somebody says, I'll give you a sixth for him, I think they're going to take it. That's what I think. And I think it'll be more likely a fourth. That's what I think. And I would take it too, because you're taking out 17.5 next year, 18.5 the year before, 17, I mean the year after, then 17 again. We are locked into this guy for 4 years at crazy money. So if you can get anything for him, get it and just move on, man. Just move on. So that's what I think. You guys agree? Do you think CJ Mosley, if you had it like a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being trade, CJ Mosley, where do you think it is on the scale of 1 to 10? Like unlikely 1 to likely 10. Where do you guys think it is with CJ Mosley? What do you guys think? Yeah, Iraq. It was the COVID stuff with opting out and everything. It pushed his contract down a year. So interesting. Friggle D says unlikely. Tristan says there's no chance. Interesting, Tristan. It's funny. It's funny, right? How we can see this. Like I think it's somewhere in the area of 9. I think they're going to do anything they can to trade him. That's what I think. But I get it because Tristan's, probably thinking, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the guy, remember those 3 quarters 2 years ago, man? Holy shit. His undeniable interception for a touchdown, forced fumble recovery, passes defense in the end zone, all kinds of tackles. I mean, he was all over the place. So I think if somebody's willing to give you a 6th round pick and take on that crazy albatross of a contract, you do it. I mean, I'd ask him first, hey, man, you willing to go down to $12 million a year? 10? If he goes, yeah, fuck it. I already made $37 million off you guys. Think about that. He's made $37 million, I think it is. $37 million for what? 3 quarters, 4 quarters, It's crazy. He was, Owen. He was kicking the Bills' ass. We were shutting them out when he went off the field, if I remember correctly. Vertigo Flow, you're my guy. Green Bean, you know your stuff, and I always check your channel out first. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's nice. You know what? It's funny. I was having a conversation just the other day about like this past year, like doing this stuff. It's like, it's so nice that I actually found some sort of purpose. Friggle D split. Ooh, I lost you. So it seems like most of you guys are leaning towards trading them. I mean, that it's likely to trade, but I do see a few floating around 4s and 6s and stuff. Tristan's the only one on a 0. Braden Bethwaite says 1. He thinks it's unlikely. Yeah, I think it's interesting to hear everybody's thoughts. I think it's. If I was going to say it's unlikely, it's probably because nobody's going to do it. But did you see that article? They're expecting anywhere from a 3rd to a 5th for him. Abstriku, what's up, buddy? Thank you. JD fleece San Francisco for Jimmy G and Bosa plus number 3 and a 2 for Mosley. Number 2. I mean, dude, how great would that be? See, like the thing is, I think if we can get San Francisco to fall in love with Zach Wilson, and we have Justin Fields rated like in the same place, again, I know most people are on one side or the other, and I understand that. We're just talking. If JD likes Fields just as much or more than Zach Wilson, if he can trade back with the San Francisco 49ers and I don't think they're going to give up Bosa, but I think they would give up Fred Warner. So you get Salah's linebacker, you get a 2nd round pick, and you take Jimmy G's contract off their hands. and you get your quarterback anyway. You let Jimmy G start for a year. You know what I mean? You let Jimmy G start for a year, and then you work Justin Fields in, and then you get rid of Jimmy G next year. So that's the thing. I think there's some of this stuff. I don't know how likely it is, but I think there's some of this stuff at play. That's what I think. You know, I do. It's like Matt O'Leary says to me all the time: stop complicating it. It's easy. Just fucking take your quarterback. And I think that if Joe Douglas feels that one quarterback is leaps and heads and tails above, but if you're like, bro, I don't give a shit which one I get. I would love Zach Wilson. I would love Justin Fields. Then fucking work the Niners, man. Work them and take the other guy. So that's what I think. So thank you, Abstriku. Jack Sullivan, thanks, buddy. Was this a sticker? You didn't say anything. If you have a question, let me know. I appreciate the super chat, but let me know if there is a question that you have. But the other part of Abstriku's thing, he said, and then take a second for CJ Mosley. So think about this. If you gave them the second overall and CJ Mosley for Fred Warner, the number 3 overall, a second round pick and Jimmy G, that's a decent trade because then they get the linebacker. He's more expensive. I don't know let me see what Fred Warner's contract is. Hold on. Oh man, he's low. He's making $3 million. That's a whole different thing. Salah loves him, man. You know? Well, Matt, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows what anybody's really thinking. We like to think that Zach Wilson, as much as he showed this year, he's had surgeries. There's some issues there. So I think teams might be looking at that too. I agree. I think they probably like Zach Wilson more, but don't forget, man, this smoke screen stuff is very real. And when you can get teams to think that you are 100% in on one thing, like if you look at, I don't know, it's funny. I think people they look at Joe Douglas's smirk when he's talking about him, and they look at this or that, and they say it's so clear Joe Douglas loves him. That might be the case, but I also see the potential of Joe Douglas smoke screening. Like if you were going to try to make somebody think something, it's exactly what you would do. And he hasn't said shit one way or the other. He hasn't. So anyway, we don't have to do that all night, but I'm just saying, I think that it's possible, so it's going to be interesting, man. Either way, I'm going to be relieved a little bit when it's over. I'd like to just find out who our quarterback's going to be and who Joe Douglas is going to take with 23, because Thursday night's going to be exciting. Are we going to trade up? Are we going to trade down? Are we going to trade back up into the first from 34? Who knows? Maybe that's what we want to do. 34 to 31, 32. Isn't that far of a jump? It's not that far of a jump, guys. And I'll tell you, so you have the Chiefs. Well, they don't have that 31st pick anymore. That is now the Ravens, right? Yep. So that's the Ravens, and Tampa Bay still has pick 32. And then Buffalo has pick 30, so they're not going to trade with you, most likely. And then Green Bay, 29, New Orleans, 28, Baltimore, 27. So Baltimore has 27 and 31. It's a nice little batch for them. They might be willing to trade back. They just got the pick for free. Not for free, but you know what I mean. They just got it. So what's up, guys? Let's get to some questions. And we're going to do this one a little bit shorter tonight. I have a lot of shit to do, editing-wise. I got to send Jet Nation's video over to them by tomorrow morning as well, and I'm not done with it. So let's see. Tristan. You see, the Jets think there is a huge drop off after Najee and Etienne, and there's a chance they take one at 23 or 34. I don't think it's likely, but we'll see, I guess. Yeah, I think that's interesting too. Like, again, I think it's the Jets take a running back at 23 or 34. It's very unlikely, like you said, Tristan. So why are these articles coming out now that that's who they want? Why? You know what I mean? So for me, it looks like smoke. Every year this stuff happens. You see all these articles about this or that. Most of it never comes to pass. So what are the articles about? Now, some of this stuff's coming from Tony Pauline, who happens to be somebody with a little bit more credibility than the likes of Samini or some of the other beat writer guys, Canizaro. Like, these guys, they don't know shit, man. They ask questions at a press conference and they talk about it, or they read out, Adam Schefter and they write about it. Like, so they don't really have the inside scoops that they used to have. But Pauline has been pretty good. Not that everything he says comes to pass, but he's close much more than these other guys. So when he says it, I tend to consider a little bit more. But again, why would the Jets? We already know this. The Jets are leakless. There are no leaks on the Jets. Like, even the guy that I know in the Jets, and he's not high up or anything. He does know some stuff, but he's told me, like, it's just not the same. He was there during McCagnon and Bowles and all that, and he just said it's not the same. It's a totally different feel in the office. There used to be all this chit chat, he said, all this chit chat. And now there's very little. So the Jets are leakless. So if all of a sudden it's coming out that the Jets like Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, why? That's how you have to think. What is it? Because there's no leaks. So if something's coming out, it's because Joe Douglas wants it to be out. You know what I'm saying? Gee, I'd love to know who's attending voluntary workouts. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that stuff, there's still COVID stuff, but I think with all the vaccinations and shit, I think everything's going to be lightening up a little bit. Like, you guys know, in the other world that I have, the roller coaster world, it's totally different than last year. Like, last year when we left, everything was shutting down. Nobody was open for the whole year. It was just like, sorry, we'll see you in 2021. This year, the whole industry is like excited. There's a lot of excitement and buzz about who's opening. So I think this stuff is going to simmer down. I hope it does, because it sucks otherwise. I'm telling you. Byron, thank you, buddy. It's the best podcast you do. Hope the bugs are treated. Yeah. Well, I got all kinds of sprays and smoke, like, I light these things, and I do okay. I do all right. Right now, it's a little late for the bugs. They tend to leave around 10. You know what I mean? So I should be okay. It's the ticks you got to worry about. I had a tick on me yesterday. This little fucking head in my stomach right here got me. So let's see what you guys got. Yeah, Lieberfeld's pretty good too. But Lieberfeld doesn't pretend to know stuff that he doesn't know. He just has a good takes. You know what I mean? At least that's what I see. So, Drums, it's good to see you, man. If we draft Wilson or Fields, you think they will wear number 1 or a different number? Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about this number shit? No, I don't know. I think, as you get older in this world, you just start to want your comfort zone. You're just like, come on, what are we doing? Shaking everything up. But most of the time, when things do get shaken up by a next generation, it ends up being for the better. Most of the time, like, you look at things and you can't imagine the world the way that it was. So I think this is one of those things, like with the number change. And as far as this particular question, I think that if Zach Wilson is the quarterback, I think that he will wear number 1. Yeah, why not? Number 1 says that speaks. I'm number 1. Just look weird, quarterback number 1. But yeah, I think they will. Mosley in 34. How high can we get? I don't know. I think Mosley's a hindrance, man. That's the thing. Like, if they can get anything for him, I don't think Mosley's going to be able to be a chip to move up that high. I think that's the kind of thing where they're looking at later, mid to later round picks. Like, is C.J. Mosley worth and better than the guys we could get here? Up top, I don't know. I think May would be a little bit more tradable up there because of Mosley's contract. May's contract is franchise tagged, so he's near the top of the safety market. But I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, if you guys, thanks, Vertigo Flow. If you don't mind, hit sub, yeah, please sub. I think most of you guys are sub. That's how you found out. Let's see. Was the first ring your starter? Friggledee. Brandon Moore. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Was he first? He's talking about Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore lives up in Mendham, New Jersey. How did I miss the notification? Yeah, it's weird, right? Right, Archie? I mean, I don't know why that side comments every week. Somebody's like, what the fuck? Try to hit the bell again, maybe. I don't know. Like, undo it and do it again, maybe. CC good. You know, we were talking about this last night, this Ben Mason character. Hey, let me take the fullbacks. It's tough because, let me see, running back. There it goes. It's tough because the fullback is a dying position. Teams that like it really like it, but 15 years ago, fullbacks, there were fullbacks that were first round picks. Maybe not 15, a little bit longer, but there was a time, man, fullback was considered very important. Like, you had a fullback on your roster. Now it's crazy. It just happened. It was like, yeah, fullbacks are a thing of the past. You guys remember Brad Baxter? Brad Baxter, our fullback, and we have been fullback heavy as an organization. You guys remember Gerald Sowell and Richie Anderson? Remember these guys? They were great fullbacks for us, man. Brad Baxter, Richie Anderson, and Gerald Sowell, of their careers, they were like the best player we had on the team. Electric. Then we had Tony Richardson, who was just a stalwart, man. He was so good. Such a rock. So we have guys, let me share this with you. Here's what the fullbacks look like. There's only my main place that I like to go, like not my main. I look at a lot of I have to go to a lot of things, but the first one I go to is this right here. So I go to Draft Tech. All right. So can you guys see that? Let me see. So you look at Ben Mason. He's 6'3", 254 pounds out of Michigan. That's the guy that we're kind of looking at, that he's the name that's been associated with the Jets. Let's see how my internet goes here. Look at this guy. He's from Newton, Connecticut. Like I said, 254 pounds. I actually have him as a tight end, but he's going to be playing fullback. Let's see. Look at all these 6 rushes versus, I don't know, it's going to be by games. We're not going to get into that. This is just his bio. Let's see. Ben's greatest asset is his demeanor, which is fitting for a linebacker. He is a tremendous run defender. So, plays linebacker too, which I didn't know. Anyway, so he's going to be a fullback, they say. And then you have this guy out of LSU. Anybody know anything about him? I'll be honest, I didn't look too deeply into the fullbacks. Look at this chick. Get out of here with this. Oh, you guys can't see it once I click out of there. Shit. All right, so I can't do that. I have to go in. So look, these are our fullbacks right here. All over 6'1", 235, 250 pounds, 250 pounds. So that's it. This is like, as far as Draft Tech is concerned, there are 3 coming out. It's crazy, isn't it? These are the only ones rated. some of these tight ends could also fit that bill. But here's what I will say: if we see a fullback drafted, I'm going to tell you right now, that means that Trevon Wesco is probably in trouble. He's probably in trouble. And again, he's another one picked by the former regime. Plays hard, good kid, but Joe Douglas might just have zero interest in him. It's part of the deal sometimes. But like a lot of our GMs and coaching staffs, like they're not willing to do the complete overhaul. So we sit there and we stumble around with guys that were from the previous regime because we don't know how to upgrade. Joe Douglas is taking out the trash, man. Friggle D, thanks, buddy. Let's not forget about the strong possibility of trading some day 3 picks this year or next year for quality young veterans. Happens every draft. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Friggle D. Right. Joe Douglas in two consecutive years has used it's the same 6th-round pick, interestingly, on getting vet defensive back help from the Colts, right? So we traded for Nate Hairston with a future 6th-round pick. He didn't meet the conditions of the trade, so we got the pick back, and then he gave that exact pick back to the Colts again for Quincy Wilson. So I think that the Quincy Wilson thing was kind of a solid for the Colts. Like, hey, man, we didn't do that on purpose to you. I'll give you the 6th-round pick. Just give me another guy that you're probably going to cut, and I'll see if I could use him. And that's probably more than likely what happened there. Don't forget Rex Hogan and whatever the name, Ballard over there, very close. He was his assistant. He was his right-hand man too. Maybe not his right-hand man, but he was high up in the Colts organization as well. Rex Hogan was. So now he's our assistant GM. So there's a very solid relationship there with us and the Colts. And Chris Ballard is widely considered one of the best GMs in the league right now. So you want to be able to have that relationship. So I think this is a good point because I think Joe Douglas is looking to do that. If he's in the 6th round and he sees an opportunity to bring in a vet, a new player that's got a year or two under their belt, I should say, he might be able to, that might be something to consider. And I think guys, it happens after the draft every year. Guys get cut. So teams are keeping a guy right now. Like, let's say, for example, we're keeping Alex Lewis right now. Right? We're keeping Alex Lewis, but to see if it turns out we're not able to get the guards that we want, we just keep Alex Lewis for depth or whatever it is. I'm just using it as an example. So teams do that every year. If they're able to fill the position via the draft, then they let the guy go. It happens every year. So this is very possible. Yeah. No matter what moves, Owen, no matter what moves we make, our division is stacked next year. I just want our offense to be competent for once. Yeah, I feel the same way. Look, we were in the exact same boat as the Buffalo Bills, right? We were a year ahead of the Miami Dolphins rebuild, and we decided to take Adam Gase and slow us down for we wasted 2 years. Now, the positive out of this is that we got Joe Douglas. If we would have kept Matt Rule, we would still have Mike McCagnon. There never would have been that voice that pushed him out to bring Joe Douglas in. So it was worth it, I think, because even if we had a good coach, having Mike McCagnon there picking the players, and don't forget, Mike McCagnon wouldn't let the scouts talk to the coaches. He didn't want any of that. He didn't he would have a meeting with the coaches, hear what they wanted, and then leave them out of the loop, which is just such bullshit, man. You want your coaches talking to you. He didn't want the scouts to be influenced by the coaches. It was real secretive and dumb. So you want your staff to all be on the same page and everything. So I think that we had to go through it, but it's like if you look at the Buffalo Bills and where they are right now, we could conceivably be there. So now even Miami is a year ahead of us on their rebuild. They had all those picks last year. They were able to get some guys, although I don't think they used those picks to their maximum value. I think they made some mistakes, man. With like Austin Jackson in the first. I mean, I like him, but I don't know, man. I thought there were better options from my perspective. You know, who the fuck am I? But that's just what I thought. That's just my opinion. But yeah, so like you're saying, Owen, I just want this rebuild to be foundational to what when we go on the field, if they sleep for a second, we're going to punch them in the face. That's what I want for this year. I want to be competitive. I'd love to win a whole bunch of games. That'd be great. But really what I'm looking for is our core foundational guys to be effective. You know what I mean? So let's see what else we got here. Jack Sullivan. Where'd you go? I just saw something from Jack, and he gave something before. I didn't want to miss it. Jets by Jimmy. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? If you guys didn't hear, Jimmy graciously had me on his channel yesterday. Was that yesterday or was that a month ago? I don't even remember, but it was like my life smears together. But yeah, so we did a nice conversation over there talking about how we guys become Jets fans. So if you haven't checked it out, go to Jets by Jimmy. It was a good time. So what's Jack saying? Wesco stays for a year as a blocking tight end, comes in on jumbo and sub patches. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think that he's absolutely valuable. I happen to like Trevon Wesco a whole bunch, and he's got better hands than he's given credit for, and he's got yak ability too. He's like, he's known for like knocking mouthpieces out of defensive players. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just saying, like, if we grab Ben Mason, like we just signed Tyler Kroft, right? We have Ryan Griffin. We just re-signed Daniel Brown. And we have Trevon Wesco, who, if we brought in Tyler Kroft, like they're very similar skill sets, very similar types of players, although I think Wesco might be a little more athletic. So I just think if we bring in a fullback, it's not good news for Wesco. It doesn't mean he's gone, but it's not good news. And I would rather Wesco, like if we have to make the choice between Wesco, Griffin, Brown, or Kroft, I would take Wesco over all of them. You know? Let's see where we are. What was Jets by Jimmy saying? Oh, he's talking to Owen. Okay. Let me see. What's everybody talking to Owen about? Let's see. Factors when last year dudes. You guys talking about Caleb Farley? I would be afraid to take Caleb Farley in the first. If he's there in the second, I might be willing to do that. Like if he slides down to 34, I might be willing to do that. But I'm not using 2 or 23 on Caleb Farley. I'm just not. Oh, you like that, Ephraim? I put that story in I think it was my second podcast too. I go into a little bit more detail, but yeah, that's a funny story, man. It's very true. We went out there. We thought it was the best plan in the world. We went out there to Cleveland, welcomed them back. I was in the best mood, man. We had the camper, we had the barbecue, we had the sign. I made my famous tailgate wings. Matthias Simon can tell you about those. Right, Matt? So, yeah, and it was just ended up being this fucking bloody brawl, dude. Blood everywhere. It was crazy. It was so bad. It was such a brutal fight. And they made it happen. They wanted to get beat up so bad. Yeah, I don't know. When you look at these guys that are running 4.9 40s and stuff like that, you got to remember, guys, that when you look at a guy who has college production and then he goes into a pro day or a combine and he doesn't perform well on some of the speed tests, but they have production. Like there are teams and evaluators that drop them way down. Like if they have production and they're good football players, they're good football players. It's like Michael Piron's a really good example. He's definitely not fast, but he doesn't test well. But when he's on the field, he's got football brain. Like he hits the hole hard, and when he's chugging, if there's somebody chasing him, generally speaking, they don't catch him. So he's got on the field speed, which is hard because he's not able to access that during drills, and tests and stuff like that. And that's okay. Sometimes they get nervous, a little hop step. It's all that shit, man. So I don't know. I look at that stuff, but I think most of the time 40s, although we tend to look at it a lot, we definitely lean on it. Exactly, Matt. What we want is football speed, but we tend to lean on 40 times all the time. Oh, 4.3, 4.40, 4.3, and it's like it's good, but it's like to me and a lot of people, it's not the thing. I like 3-cone and stuff like that, agility. But still, I think when you watch a guy and they have college production at a high level, those are the guys that you look at their drills, of course, see where their athleticism caps out and all that stuff. But some guys like a Wesco's not there to burn people down the sideline. He's there to block well, to be an extra blocker, and he's there to be a relief valve for the quarterback that can catch. And when he's running, if a defensive back gets in front of him, he's going to knock the spit out of him. That's what you want, because he does that. He'll get you an extra 8 yards after the catch every time. It's hard to take down. There's plenty of videos of Wesco carrying 2 or 3 guys. You know what I mean? Owen says, does everyone here just want to get our interior O-line set up for the future? Vera and Creed at 23, 34 would be amazing. Yeah. I think that's a great way to go, man. I think that's a great way to go. Like I said, I think we're more than likely going to see other than that, Owen. I just want you to know that. I more than likely think that we're going to use the strength of the draft to allow us to take players up top that are not a part of the strength of the draft. The strength of the draft is quarterback, offensive line, and then cornerback, really. Wide receiver, then cornerback. So I think that we allowed ourselves in free agency to not need a wide receiver. We gave ourselves the space in free agency to not need an edge rusher. But we did not take care of cornerback, linebacker, and tight end. We kind of did with tight end, but it's fucking such low level guys. So I think that we're more than likely going to see a linebacker taken with one of those first 3 picks. That's just what I think. A linebacker or a cornerback. And I wouldn't disagree. Even though I agree with you, Owen, I think I would like to just see us take care of the offensive line already. But I think we're more than likely not going to see 2 offensive linemen taken at 23 and 34. I think we're going to take a linebacker or a cornerback with one of those. Terry Monroe. Great monologue at the end of Jimmy's video. Yeah, being a Jets fan from the late 1969, I could not agree more with the pleasure we will have when we get this done. Also, I hate Johnny Come Lately. Do you guys remember 2010 and 2009, 2010 in particular, though? How many more Jets fans there were all of a sudden? Let me tell you, like Matt, Terry Monroe, you guys are going to remember. Remember, 20 years ago, could you find a Patriots fan anywhere? Nowhere. They didn't exist except in Boston, like up in New England. That's where they were. Now, granted, they had 20 years of major success, so of course the younger generations are going to be attracted to that. That's how it goes. But all these Patriot fans, like you go down to Florida, you go to California, you see Patriot fans. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So those are the Johnny-come-latelys. Like I lived in Miami during the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, all that during the Heat championship years. And let me tell you something. You could not get into those Heat games. They were $500 a ticket minimum. People were paying $5,000 to be near the court. The year after LeBron James left, they were literally on Groupon. Because Miami is known as a fair weather fan place. It's a whole bunch of people doing what's stylish. And for a while, the Heat were stylish. Like, believe me, I've been going to Miami Dolphins games for 10 years down there. I went to one game every year, and every now and then I would go to a different one because my company owned a box in the stadium. So I would just go there. We owned a box in American Airlines, which is where the Heat play, and we owned a box in the Dolphins Stadium. So I'd go to a couple of games every year, get field passes, all that stuff. But it's like, dude, the stadium was half empty because the Dolphins suck. And I mean, like, less than half empty. It would be filled with the team that's playing them, just like the Jets last couple of years. But for them, it's normal. That's the way it always is. But if the Dolphins become a perennial playoff team, looks like they're going to the Super Bowl, there'll be Dolphin shit everywhere down there. So what we got to know is, I'm looking at your names. I remember you guys. At least I try to. I know you guys are legit. You're here when the going was tough. You guys are here during the tough times. So when it becomes the good times, I'm going to remember who you are. And there's new people going to say, hey, I love the Jets, man. I've been a Jets fan for fucking 30 years. It's like, yeah, where were you, bro? You left. You left us alone on the island. J.E., Jets fan since 84. Yeah, that's me. I'm a Jets fan since 1982, but I really started like watching the Jets probably right around there, like really digging in 84, 86. 86 is the first year I really remember like knowing everything about the Jets. That was my first real year. And we were good. We were 10-1 that year. And then we ended up 10-6. Pat Ryan coming in for quarterback and winning the playoffs against KC, and then that double overtime game that Mark Gastineau fucking blew for us. It's crazy. Matt, let me just tell you this. I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it loud and proud. Mo Lewis is one of my favorite Jets of all time. I hate that when you talk to anybody about Mo Lewis, they only talk about the one play. One play. And I get it. But let me tell you something. That day, taking Drew Bledsoe out of the game was an amazing thing. Drew Bledsoe was one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and Mo Lewis took him out. It just so happens they had Tom Brady sitting there. It's not his fucking fault. Mo Lewis played for us for 12 years. He had a 12-year NFL career, and they were all with the Jets, and he was one of our, if not our best linebacker ever. 53.5 sacks. Dominant run defender, good in coverage, effective pass rusher, lots of pressures, quiet, never a punk, great leader. I love Mo Lewis. That's why one of the jerseys, the only jersey I took with me on the road was my Mo Lewis jersey. I love Mo. What's that? Wait, what are you saying, Matt? That's why you love the Jets, Green. Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's pretty good. There you go, Revolution. 1982, right? That was a good year to get in. That was a good year. I know, Friggledy. I love Mo too, man. Loved him. I love Mo Lewis. Remember, like, it was Mo Lewis and Joe Kelly, and then I think it was Bobby Houston might have came right around there or right after that. We had that linebacker from where was he from? Barton from the Raiders, maybe. He was another idiot. And then we had Donald Evans, the defensive line from the Steelers. He was a fucking maniac. A maniac. Kept getting in trouble for too rough, unnecessary roughness all the time. Hold on. Hey, cutie. What are you doing? Come here.
Are you on the live stream?
Yeah, I'm live. What's going on? You okay? You want me to put you to bed? Is that what you're saying? Can you give me 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been giving Bob Kraut 52 years for Bob. Damn. I know it's 38 for me, Bob. And it's just like, I can't believe it's 38 years. 52 is even worse. Right? You gotta say that though. So you got that. I became onto this planet 3 years later. Liam, the Patriots were so bad they were going to move to St. Louis. I don't remember that, but I don't doubt it. Remember they were talking about the Buffalo Bills moving to Vancouver? Remember that? That wasn't too long ago. That's all right, E-Rock. 98 was a good year to come in. Those were the good years. You just missed Kotite then. You just missed Kotite. Yeah, Matt, that was and Brian Javits. Mo Lewis and Marvin Jones together on the field. They were great. Marvin Jones, another great Jets linebacker, Kyle Clifton. He used to get 200 tackles every year, partially because nobody else was tackling on our team, but he was still near the ball that much. But then when Parcells brought in Brian Cox, so it was Marvin Jones, Brian Cox, and Mo Lewis. Let me tell you, man, I remember going to Hofstra and watching those guys practice. I got to talk to all three of them because my buddy was yelling, best linebacker core in football, best linebacker core in football. And they came over and they were talking to us. And it was just like, they're so big and massive. Dude, and they were so good together on the field. They were the perfect mix. Marvin Jones was real mellow. Mo Lewis was kind of mellow too. And Brian Cox was like a fucking raging beast. That was so good, dude. Huh. Yeah, that's right. J.E. Altoon was unbelievable. We got him killed. Oh, poor Kenny O. Got him killed. But then when we had that AstroTurf, Giant Stadium was known as one of the hardest surfaces, like these AstroTurf teams. And it was like literally a piece, that green plastic field on top of concrete. It's crazy that that's what they really thought was good. It's right. Who the fuck can play on concrete? Like, what is this? Everybody was breaking their fingers and concussions and breaking their feet and ankles. And it was like, that was great. Good shit. Yeah, Buttle and Mel. Those guys are a little bit before me. I remember Mel, I think, Lance Mel. But Greg Buttle, I don't remember. John Vilma, yeah, he was good. Jonathan Vilma was good. I loved the pick. When we picked him, I loved it. That was a great pick. But we actually replaced J.E. says Harris. Remember, Jonathan Vilma just wasn't very good in the Mangini 3-4 system. And David Harris was better. He came in and he was like so much better than Vilma. In that Vilma got hurt. And David Harris was just better in that system. So we traded him to the Saints for a third or a second and a third. And then they cut him because, we had that deal. It was conditional if he was on the roster. So they cut him. So we didn't get the pick. And then they signed him again. Just like the Giants did with Leonard Williams. They waited it out. Just like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did with Revis. It's like those conditional things. You know that. It's like if he's on the roster, we get a third. If he's not that day, you get a fourth. It's like you already know you're getting a fourth. Yeah, Matt, that was one of the things I really wanted Aaron Glenn to be considered for our defensive coordinator. But the guy I thought was really going to be our defensive coordinator was Chris Richard. That's who I thought it was. That's who I thought it was going to be for sure. He has that background with Saleh. He helped Saleh a great deal. Every time Saleh talks about Seattle and the guys who help him, Chris Richard was one of them. And Chris Richard didn't actually coach in the league because he wanted a defensive coordinator job and didn't get it. So he just took a year off. And I was like, yep, this guy's definitely our defensive coordinator. And then out of nowhere, it was Ulbricht. I would have liked Chris Richard. He's a very exciting, energetic coach and everything. Yeah, Corbett. Come on, man. Who doesn't love Wayne Corbett? Holy shit, right? Yeah, J-Rock. It's a good point. How exciting is that? Did you guys see my video on Leon Washington? If you haven't, go search it out. It's good. I isolated the hit of Leon Watson on Leon Washington on Channing Crowder. Dude, that's one of the greatest hits of all time. Channing Crowder running like this for the ball, and Leon Washington just came up and crushed him. Probably has 100 pounds on him. Just boom! Rolled him. Flew through the air and literally rolled backwards. It's so good. But I love having Leon Washington back. I actually texted him on Instagram and just said, "Hey man, like we're so excited." Oh no, you know what it was? I did that, but he just liked it. But then he wrote me something. I think I posted my video and tagged him in it, the clip, and he was like, "Hey, thanks." So that was cool. I'm famous. Yeah, Browning Nagel. Remember his first game, Bob? Remember his first game? Browning Nagel against the Atlanta Falcons had 366 yards in a loss, 17-14 or something like that, 21-17. Yeah, but we lost. So let me see something. Let me see if you guys want to. So you gotta tell me. Let me see if I got something here. Let's see here. If I can find what'd I do with it? Oh, I might have took it out and put it in my external hard drive. You know what? Let me see. I'm going to try to do this for you guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to try to find you something here. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this for you. I thought I had it, but I guess I put it in my external hard drive. Instead, I thought I had it in here. I forget what I do all damn day. So let's see here. See if I can find this for you, and I'll show you guys a little bit of my comedy days if I can find it. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the whole show. Damn, that's going to be big. All right, let me see if I can do this.
Ready?
Hold on, little.
Are you still live?
Yeah, I'm still live. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to end it right now in a few minutes. I'm working. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, let me see. Share video file.
And the morning it shut up.
Julia, you got to give me a second, okay? Hold on.
Good. Next time it'll be.
All right. So look, I'm gonna find something. I gotta find it. Let me see. It's gonna take me a second because I had it in clips, but for some reason I can't find those. I can only find the whole show. So I'm gonna show you guys a clip. Okay.
Many makeup ads. It said this.
All right, hold on.
Just as much, if not more, next time. And I'm gonna. It sounds like. Just know that when you go home tonight, think about that. I might not exist.
All right. So let me do this.
I think you're.
Okay. So we're going to end it with this. I know people always give me a thumbs down. It's okay, Noah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So I know, right, Three Amigos? So let me just look here. I'm going to show you guys a clip. Now, I want to tell you, it's a little dirty, okay? So this is my last comedy show. It's like 12 years ago or so, 12 or 13. It might even be 14 years ago. I forget. I got to look at it all, but it's like 12 or 13 years ago. So I'm going to show you guys this clip. You can't be offended. If you're going to be offended, I'm warning you now. Just get off. All right, just because it's probably going to offend you if you are offendable. All right, so here we go, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? All right, check it out. Let me know what you think. Here we go. Last comedy show.
Tonight, think about that. I might not exist. I think everybody might have a bigger dick hole than me. I don't know what, like, the status with dick holes is. If it's good to have a little one, it's good to have a big one. But every time I go to a urinal, everybody's piss sounds like... And mine's like... I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. And you want to just go, hey, dude, let me see your fucking dick hole. Come on, man, no, seriously, I'm not fucking, I don't want to suck it or anything, but I just want to see the girth of your fucking dick hole. Let me see if we're gonna go. I don't know, man. I mean, like, ladies, does it matter how big a guy's dick hole is to you? Yeah, they say it doesn't matter, but I bet it does. Fucking liars.
All right, that's enough for tonight. So, yeah, so that's my last comedy show. I know that's just a little clip. There's better material on there, but that was one. I made that one up. That's what's called an ad lib. So that wasn't pre-planned material. That was one that I just threw out the comedy show. I had to do an hour set. So I would always bring about 40 minutes of material and then I would riff for 20 minutes. That was a riff. So I never did that one before or again. So anyway, I know you like that. You like that was my shaved head. Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm a totally different person. You guys know me as this guy. That was different. It's a different version. So listen, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate the extra little hang. We got ourselves an extra hour in here, an hour and 10 minutes or so. So I appreciate it. And I'm going to make another video tonight for Jet Nation. But I thank you guys for being around, man. You guys have a good night, okay? Take care. Have a good night. See ya.